Hello everyone. Today we are going to cover canonical cover or minimal set of functional dependency in DBMS. So what is canonical cover or minimal set? Canonical cover or minimal set we always find of functional dependency. So we should know what is functional dependency before covering canonical cover or minimal set. So I have already made a video on functional dependency. You can go through that video and then come back to this. So canonical cover, or also we call it as minimal set of a set of functional dependency F, is a set of functional dependency E such that every functional dependency in F is in the closure of E. Meaning we have a functional dependencies like this. This is a functional dependency set. So how many functional dependencies are there in this set? 1, 2, 3 and 4. And the set of this 4 functional dependency, the name is given is F. Okay. So how we are going to find the minimal set from this given set? So minimal set name is given, suppose E. So we have to find the minimal set of functional dependency E. See, there are only 3 FDs in E and there are 4 FDs in F. But nothing is removed. Only the extra whatever was there or duplicate thing was there was removed and we got the set E. And set E is considered as what? Minimal set of FD. That is only called as canonical cover. Okay, we'll see this with the example so that you will come to know in a clear way. So another definition for minimal set or canonical cover is an attribute in a functional dependency is considered as extra attribute if we can remove it without changing the closure of the set of functional dependency. So any attribute or any FD is extra in the given set of FDs, we can remove it and we can make the minimal set of FD from the original set only. Okay, so that is the definition of canonical cover or minimal set. So you can consider either this as a standard definition or this, both are correct. Now how to find the canonical cover? There is a procedure for finding the canonical cover or minimal set of FD. So given a functional dependency set F, we can find its minimal set using following 3 steps. So what is the step 1? Only one attribute should be there on the right hand side of every functional dependency. So Y is on the right hand side of the functional dependency and X is on the left hand side. So what is X and Y? They are nothing but an attribute. In a simple words, in a database table, so X and Y will be column names in the database table. So column we can also call them as attribute. So only one attribute should be there on the right hand side of every functional dependency. Suppose it is given FD is like that, YZ, then we have to keep only one attribute on the right hand side. So we have to split this FD like this. X tends to Y and then X tends to Z. So now we have only one attribute on the right hand side of the FD. So this is only the step 1. Then comes the step 2. Remove extra attribute from left hand side of every functional dependency. For example, if it is FDs are given like this in the original set F of functional dependencies, there are 3 FDs. Okay, now look at the left hand side if there is any extra attribute. Now in third we have 2 attributes A and B on the left hand side. So now for this we have to check whether A or B is extra or they might not be extra, but we have to check. Then we have step 3. So what is third step is saying? Remove redundant or duplicate. What is the meaning of redundant? Duplicate. So you have to remove the duplicate functional dependency. For example, X tends to Y is a suppose duplicate functional dependency present in the set F. If you do F minus X tends to Y, you still getting the functional dependency set. Even after removing this, nothing happens to your set. You get everything from in the original set as it is. Then we can say that X tends to Y is a duplicate and can be removed. First step, you remember it as a RHS operation. Remember it as a RHS operation means you have to do something on the RHS. Second, you remember it as a LHS operation. You have to do something on the LHS part. And third is what? Need to remove duplicate FD. So we'll see this with an example. So example of canonical cover or minimal set. So this way the question will be given. Now you are in the bracket A, B, C. What is the meaning of this? Meaning you will have a table like this. Table name is R and it has 3 columns. And column names are A, B and C. C, and they will have the values like this. So functional dependency set F will be given in the problem like this. So now in this functional dependency set F, there are 4 functional dependency, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we need to find or compute canonical cover or minimal set of FDs from this given set. So first step, only one attribute should be there on the right hand side of every functional dependency. So in the first functional dependency, how many attributes are there on the right hand side? 2, B and C. We have to change this. We have to make sure we have only one attribute on the right hand side. In the second FD, how many attributes are there on the right hand side? Only one is there, that is C. In the third FD also only one attribute is there on the right hand side, that is B. And in the fourth FD also you have only one attribute on the right hand side, that is C. These 3 FDs we can write as it is. Only first FD we have to split. So first FD we need to write like this, A tends to B and then A tends to C. Separately we need to write. See, given FD is like this in the original set, you can see. So now we have to split this into 2 FDs because we want only one attribute on the right hand side. First we'll write A tends to B, see I have written, and then you write A tends to C. So we got one attribute on the right hand side now, and the remaining FDs you all write as it is. B tends to C, A tends to B and AB tends to C. So this is the step 1. We have to make sure we have only one attribute on the right hand side. So as a result of step 1, we got 5 FDs. Okay, now we'll go to the step 2. What is step 2? Remove extra attribute from the left hand side of every functional dependency. Now we have how many FDs from the step 1? We got 5 FDs. Now from these 5 FDs we have to check whether any FD is having extra attribute on the left hand side. We'll check one by one. So this is FD number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now we'll start with the first FD, A tends to B. Nothing is extra since only one attribute is there. Nothing is extra in that. In second also A tends to C, only one attribute is there on the left hand side. So keep it as it is. Now B tends to C. Here also only one attribute is there on the left hand side, that is B. Keep it as it is. Now check the fourth FD, A tends to B. This FD already there on the top. A tends to B we have already taken, right? So don't write it again. And then the last FD is AB tends to C. Okay. So now here we have 2 attributes on the left hand side, that is AB. So now for this FD, this particular FD, FD number 4, we need to check whether A or B is extra. They might not be extra. Okay, you might have to write as it is this FD, but first we have to check whether A or B is extra or not. So how to check? So only consider the FD number 4. So consider this FD now, AB tends to C. While removing the extra attribute from left hand side, we have to only consider the left hand side of the FD. Don't consider the right hand side. On the left hand side we have 2 attributes, A and B. So we have to check whether A is extra or B is extra, or they are not extra. They might not be extra also. So now consider only this AB part, and first from the AB which is there on the LHS, remove B. Remove B and just find the closure of A. If in A's closure, even after removing B, B is coming, then B is extra. So in A's closure, find out A's closure, check the functional dependency. Don't consider this fourth functional dependency because for that functional dependency only we are finding the extra attribute. Other you consider. Okay, so A tends to B. So A is determining B. That means B is dependent on A from this FD. Number 1. So A will come in A's closure. Okay, every attribute come in its own closure and B will also come. So B is coming in A's closure even after removing B from here. Okay, B is extra. So now we'll remove A and we'll find B's closure only, and we'll see if A is coming. In B's closure B will come only because we are finding the closure of B attribute. So B will come only in its own closure. So find out if B is determining anywhere A, or indirectly A is coming by finding B's closure. No. So A won't come in any possibilities. If you do any trial and error also, A won't come. So in B's closure only B will come. So A is not extra because we are not getting A by any other way. So B is extra because even after not using B, if you only do A's closure, B is coming. So we can remove B. Okay, and the functional dependency will be what? If we remove this functional dependency, now new functional dependency will be A tends to C, because we have removed B from the FD number 4. Now in step 3 we have to remove duplicate functional dependency only, not an attribute. We have to remove entire functional dependency if it is a duplicate. So we'll have from the step 2 4 FDs like this, but you can see A tends to C is there over here also, and A tends to C is there again. Okay, so out of 1, 2, 3, 4, FD number 2 and FD number 4 is same thing. So we don't have to write it twice. Okay, you can write this only once. So these are the 3 FDs which will come in step 3 now. So in step 3 we have to only consider these 3 FDs. A tends to B, A tends to C and B tends to C, and find out whether there is any duplicate FD out of this or not. So how to find out this? So start with the first FD and check whether it is a duplicate or not. So there are 3 FDs, 1, 2 and 3. So we have to find which one out of these is duplicate. If there is a duplicate or no duplicate, then write it as it is as an answer. So we'll start with the first FD, that is A tends to B. Find the A's closure without considering this own FD. This FD you don't consider, other 2 FDs you consider and find A's closure. Now in A's closure, A will come. So A you write as it is and check these 2 FDs, FD number 2 and FD number 3. What is A is determining any other attribute? Yes, A is determining C. So C also will come in A's closure. Any other thing is coming? C is determining anyone? No, C is not determining. A is determining any other attribute? No, it is only determining C. Since don't consider this FD. Since B we are not getting by any chance, so this is not a duplicate FD. A tends to B has to be there in the FD set F, because we are not getting in A's closure, we are not getting B from other FDs. So A tends to B has to be there. So it is not a duplicate FD. Now check for second FD, that is FD number 2, and find out whether it is a duplicate FD or not. So in FD number 2, find out again A's closure. Okay, so don't consider FD number 2. When you find the closure, only consider FD number 1 and 3. So A's closure, A will come. Any other attribute will come other than A. Find out in FD number 1 and 3 where A is determining anything. Yes, A is determining B. So B is coming. Now check B in turn is determining anyone. Yes, B is determining C. So C also will come in A's closure. So now even after not considering this second FD, we are getting, when we find A's closure, we are getting ABC. We are getting C anyways. Okay, A tends to C, second FD we have considered to find out whether it is duplicate or not. It is a duplicate, because without using it also we'll get in its closure C will get. So we don't have to write A tends to C. We are anyways getting C from FD number 1 and 3 when you find A's closure. Now third FD is B tends to C. So now in B tends to C, you find B's closure. So when you find the B's closure for the third FD, don't consider third FD. Okay, only consider FD number 1 and 2. Now in B's closure, B will be there only. Okay, and check whereas B is determining anyone else. No. If you see step number 1 and 2, B is not determining anybody else. Only A is determining. So we are not getting C by any chance from B. If we don't consider FD number 3, no, there is no way or there is no chance we'll get the C when we find B's closure. So this FD has to be there. B tends to C. It is not duplicate, because we are not getting C in B's closure by any other way. So B tends to C should be there. This is also not duplicate. So only FD number 2 is duplicate. So what is the answer now? So step 4 is final result. A tends to B and B tends to C. So this is the minimal set of FD. Now suppose we consider E is the FD set, minimal FD set. It has only 2 FDs, this and this. An original FD set was having total 4 FDs. A tends to B, C, then B tends to C, A tends to B and AB tends to C. These were the 4 FDs given in the original problem, and the FD set was called as F. So this way you can find the minimal cover or minimal set of FDs. Thank you.